Hello students and welcome to Legacy IAS Academy. In this session, we will be looking at a question about the de-dollarization and why is India not pursuing de-dollarization is what we will look at. Now, why this concept of de-dollarization is in news and why we are thinking whether India is going to do that or not, let us understand the news, what it is. So presently what has happened is the USA's president-elect Mr. Donald Trump has sort of threatened the BRICS nation that if they come up with a separate BRICS currency, then USA is going to impose 100% tariffs on the goods that is being exported from these BRICS nation to United States of America. So now, why this threat? And what is the issue that USA has with respect to the BRICS currency? So what has happened is the BRICS nation has sort of thrown an idea of a BRICS currency. What will that currency be about? That currency will be about dealing with respect to the import and exports among these BRICS nations will be carried out using that common currency. And if these countries would be using that common currency, that means they would be avoiding the dollars. So which are these BRICS nations? Of course, India is involved. You have Brazil, Russia, India, China, and South Africa. So when you will be using a common currency for the trade among these countries, then what will happen? Presently, what currency is used? Majorly, it is the dollar that is being used. And since instead of dollar, you will be using a common BRICS currency, what will happen is the requirement of dollars in the world market will go down because these 5 countries will not be using dollars for trading among themselves. So this is sort of an inclination towards de-dollarization is what Mr. Donald Trump is suggesting, right? So if you do this, if you come up with a common currency, which is an inclination towards de-dollarization, if you do that, USA is what he's saying, will impose 100% tariffs on the BRICS group. All right. So that is the threat from Mr. Donald Trump. Now we will look at whether India is actually going for that or not. So India has given a response. What response India has given is that it specifically does not want to. There is no step or no intention to specifically de-dollarize. It has been clearly stated by the governor of the RBI as well as our external affairs minister. Both have come forward and directly denied any kind of de-dollarization. What they have rather said is, we are not going for de-dollarization, but of course, we are looking at diversifying our basket of foreign exchange. Now, let us understand the difference between the two. So, what is de-dollarization? De-dollarization is nothing but the shrinking up of what? The influence or the use or the importance of the dollar in your trade basket or the foreign exchange. So as and when the importance, the influence or the percentage share of the dollar in your foreign exchange and the import and export reduces, basically what is happening? De-dollarization is happening. So India has categorically said that we are not doing that. So what are we doing? We are sort of trying to diversify our foreign exchange basket. And of course that needs to be done in order to strengthen the health of our foreign exchange. Why? Because as they say, that do not keep all your eggs in one single basket. That is the concept that is being used over here. If India has a huge proportion, or any other country for that matter, has a huge proportion of only one single foreign currency, what is going to happen is any fall or any fluctuation in that currency is going to have a huge repercussion and impact on the entire economy of that nation. That is why what do? You diversify. Now diversifying as such is not an issue. Diversifying means sort of have more of gold in your currency basket or let's say foreign exchange basket or some other currency in your foreign exchange basket, right, instead of dollars, wherein you are not specifically targeting dollars and USA and trying to reduce it. No, it is just that you are wanting more and more of diversification in your basket. right? Now also the other way to do is to either start trading in some other currency more, or India can also look to trade in rupees with other countries, right? So in fact, RBI has given a nod for trading in rupees with 18 different countries, which is mentioned over here: Tanzania, Kenya, Israel, etc. All these information, the entire PDF will be attached in the description section. You can download it from there, so not a problem. Okay, so the nod has also been given for trading in Indian rupee. Now this is another good thing. So here, when we are talking about Indian rupee, again, this is not a concept of de-dollarization. We are using our own currency. So how is that de-dollarization? This is just a diversification of the foreign exchange basket. Plus, this specifically is not de-dollarization. Rather, it is internationalization of Indian rupee. Okay. So this is internationalization of Indian rupee. Okay. Plus, the threat that has come from Donald Trump is with respect to the BRICS countries having a common currency. So for that also we have given a response saying that this particular common currency that you're talking about is not even in use right now. It was just an idea that has been thrown. So we need to wait and see what happens. You cannot put in threat as and when you want just by the idea that was thrown in. That is point number one. And point number two, to have a common currency, there needs to be a geographical contiguity or continuum which needs to be there to utilize this common currency properly, like in the case of the Eurozone. So the European countries, they have a common currency. It is a monetary union. Monetary union means a union of countries which have a common currency. So European Union or Eurozone is a monetary union. It has the common currency as well, right? Why it benefits? Because they have a geographical contiguity. All the European Union countries have a geographical continuity. They are attached, linked, and they are bordering each other. Is that the case with BRICS countries? Absolutely not. So even that is going to make it difficult, is what India's response is there. So this is just a common currency, is just an idea. We need to wait and see how it pans out. I hope that is absolutely clear. Now, before we go on to de-dollarization versus internationalization of Indian rupee, we need to first understand how did we come to such situation, right? Wherein we are, or even the world as a large, needs to de-dollarize. So to understand the situation, if we are thinking of de-dollarizing, that means what? One thing is for sure, that a huge amount of dollar is floating in the market, and actually it is. In fact, dollar is considered as the reserve currency of the world. It is now officially the reserve currency of the world. Why it is officially the reserve currency of the world? Because 58% plus of the foreign exchange that is being held by the central banks of the world is held in what? It is held in dollars. So there is a huge reliance on dollars, and that is why, the world is looking towards de-dollarization, but not India, as we have clearly stated. So how did this scenario come into play? Now this scenario, to understand how did it come into play, we have to go back over 100 years ago, starting right from the First World War and the Second World War. So what happened is, in 1914, for the first time, the Federal Bank that exists in USA today printed its first dollar. So for the first time, the Federal Bank printed its first dollar. And when they printed in first dollar, what has happened? In 1914 is the year. Now the First World War is going to start. So what happened in the First World War is, or in fact in both the world wars, USA played the role of the supplier of arms and ammunitions. And let us understand why this dollar became so prevalent. Okay, so Federal Bank started printing the dollars. Then the World War had started. So USA started supplying arms, ammunition, weapons, etc. to the Allies, to the Allied forces. In both the wars, it was supplying arms and ammunition to the warring parties, right? So when it started supplying that, what happened is huge amount of foreign exchange started coming. And this foreign exchange was in the form of gold. So understand, US dollars have started to be printed. Now USA is selling weapons, arms and ammunitions, and the entire world foreign exchange was pegged to the gold at that time, right? But now since US is selling weapons to the various countries, these countries had to pay US, so they started paying US for weapons in terms of gold. And remember, the entire world's currency was pegged with respect to gold. But what happened by the end of the Second World War? So much of gold was spent by so many countries to buy the weapons that there was complete depreciation of the amount of gold that these countries have. So when you have so less amount of gold, can you now still peg your currency with respect to gold? Of course not. Where was this gold completely? This gold completely went to USA. Now USA has dollars, USA has huge amount of gold, the rest of the world does not have gold with it. So now what to do? Can you peg your currency to gold? No. Then what will you peg your currency to? You start to peg your currency with respect to the US dollars. Start to peg your currency with respect to US dollar. USA is now the trading giant and you have to get things from USA. So you would want to hold US dollars in your hands. That is when the requirement of dollars started, and it has been decades, so much so that presently we own over 50, not we, but the world in general, as in the central banks of the world, hold 58% of their foreign exchange in US dollars. So this is how dollar has become a hot currency. What is a hot currency? A currency that is very strong, very stable and in huge demand. Now this is not a good situation to be in. Why it is not a good situation? Because if your foreign exchange is heavily loaded with US dollars, what if US puts a sanction? What if US comes up and freezes the dollar market? What it has done with Russia, for example. So if that happens, you would require other currencies, gold, etc. to do your imports, to do your trade with other countries as well. That is why you need to diversify your foreign exchange. And that is what India has responded, that boss, we are only diversifying, not de-dollarizing. And one suggestion we can give here is, instead of de-dollarization, let us focus on internationalization of the Indian rupees. Meaning, instead of us depending too much on dollar, which we are already, and instead of focusing on reducing our dollars and moving towards different currencies, let's say pounds, euros or yens, let's not go towards different currencies. Rather, internationalize our Indian rupee. Internationalize Indian rupee means ensure that more and more countries are wanting to deal in Indian rupees. Start creating a dependency of other countries onto us, so that our dependency on dollar automatically reduces, because if the other countries are ready to deal with us in Indian rupees, we can also import their products in Indian rupees. So focus on dollar will reduce, and instead of dollar we don't have to go for any other currency. Rather, our support system would be our Indian rupees itself. That is the concept of internationalization of rupee. And as it is clear, we are going for this and not for the de-dollarization. And one more thing we can suggest is, instead of international of Indian rupee, that is there, plus diversification of the foreign exchange basket is there, and not as such de-dollarization, which was suggested by Mr. Donald Trump. All right. So thank you so much, guys. Stay tuned to YouTube channel of Legacy IAS Academy for more such informative bits. Thank you.